Hello everyone, it is Dominic here, and today I thought I'd make a video telling you guys about the reality. See what I did there? About studying Japanese at Oxford, because today is results day, and for those of you non-UK viewers out there, results day is the day that A-level students across the country find out their results and find out if they've got the grades to get into the universities they want to go to. And for those of you thinking about maybe applying to Oxbridge, I thought I'd make a little video telling you all the reasons why you shouldn't. Now I'm only kidding, just don't apply to Cambridge. But yeah, I finished my first year at Oxford a few months ago, and it was one hell of a crazy ride. I've had a while to sort of just sit down and process the whole year and think of a way I could put it into a video and share with you guys over a nice cup of green tea. I actually got this green tea in Korea. I went all the way to a specific shop just to buy this. Why am I so extra? So when I was in sixth form thinking of applying for Japanese at Oxford, there was sort of no information about what the course was like, how it was structured, how much work you had to do, like if you have a lot of free time, that sort of thing. So I thought, you know, why not make a video and share it with the world? So hopefully if you're thinking of applying for Japanese or Oxford, this will be helpful. But yeah, so terms at Oxford, as I'm sure a lot of you know, starts in October. Most universities start in September, but Oxford, you know, I just want to be special. They want to be like stand out, whatever. So term starts in October. For me, I had to arrive around the 3rd of October. Term officially started on the 9th. We were matriculated the next weekend. So that's like when you become an official member of the university, you have to wear like a cloak and a hat and really weird stuff. But yeah, so on the very first day of classes, we all went to the Oriental Institute, which is my faculty, and we had placement tests to see which class we would be put into for Japanese. Because for Japanese, you have two classes. You have A group, which is the high group, and then you have B group, which is the beginner group. In my year, it was roughly 50-50, half were in A group, half were in B group. I think obviously, like, if you come into the course speaking more Japanese, you're gonna have an easier time than those who don't, just because you are learning a lot of Japanese very, very quickly. So if you're a beginner, then just a word of warning to brace yourself. I got put into the master's class, so I was studying with all the like Japanese postgrad students, which was a bit yikes. So after they realised I scammed my way into the university, they put me back in A group. So didn't have to stay with the MSc students for too long, which was good. But yeah, in terms of the classes, we have between 10 and 12 hours of language a week, which is split into like reading, writing, applied skills, which is just like listening and speaking, except what we kind of really do is just sit there and talk in English, and the teacher gets really angry with us. Yeah, I feel like that's maybe not what it's supposed to be like. Then we also have kanji, and then finally we have exercise, and exercise is the biggest sort of chunk of our language classes. I think we have maybe 3 exercise, 2, 3, 4 exercise classes a week. Pretty much like every single day we have exercise class. But yeah, we have 10 to 12 hours of language a week, and on top of language we also have lectures, and then we have the tutorials. Now the lectures and the tutorials are part of the, I guess, history side of the course, which is called the East Asia Survey. Now it's not just history, we also do a bit of linguistics as well. We do some classical literature and modern literature, obviously. Like we do this all in English, don't worry, like you're not learning some Japanese. And that runs through all 3 terms. Now the lectures are all held in the China Centre, which is in St Hugh's College, which for any of you who don't know Oxford, it's far. And we have lectures about 2-3 times a week at 8:45 AM so that we can make it back from St Hugh's to the OI for 10 for language classes. Now the thing with lectures is that since they're not compulsory, I mean technically you don't have to go. Obviously I'm gonna say be good kids, stay in school, study. I really don't want to say anything bad though, but like just basically just try and go to as many lectures as you can. I mean, like I started the year just like, I'm gonna be a badass student going to all the lectures, sitting like in the front row and being like really, really keen. After like 2 weeks, when you set your alarm, you have to wake up at like 7:45 to trek half an hour to the China Centre when it's like 5 degrees outside, you're just kind of like, no, not today. So yeah, the lectures cover all of like the sort of history stuff, and then we will get set an essay, which is, our essays are really short, they're only 1,000 words, thank God. So 1,000 words, and you get 2 weeks to do them, which is quite a long time. The only thing about the essays is that there is quite a lot of reading involved. I probably spend, I'd say a minimum of like 7-8 hours reading for each essay. So, you know, even though you only have one every 2 weeks, there's still quite a lot of reading involved. So bear that in mind. I mean, it's definitely not too bad. You also do get a choice in which essays you do. Sometimes you might not get a choice at all, but usually you'll have, I don't know, 2 essays to choose from, 3 essays to choose from. Sometimes we'll get like I think in Trinity Term when we were doing Modern Japan, I think one of the essays we had like 11 different topics to choose from. So there is quite a wide range in choice for things to write about, so it is quite flexible. It's not like you get given one topic to write about and that's it. You get given a list of all of the lectures, all of the essays in advance, so you do know all the essays which are coming up, so you can, if you want to be like really keen, you can go prepare for them, but like no one really does that because you don't really have time, so you have your lectures and you also have tutorials, and tutorials are kind of like little meetings, 2 or 3 or 4 of you with a tutor. Either your college tutor or a tutor who has done that week's essay, and you basically just talk about your essay if it's one of the subject ones, or if it's your college tutorial, you will literally just talk about just Oxford life. Might have a cheeky little gossip with your tutor, but that's pretty much it really. They're quite chilled out, definitely not as daunting as the interviews. Like usually, literally all you do is you'll get your essay back, then you have to talk about your essay, why you had certain things, why you wrote certain things, and then you kind of just discuss it all. Only time you run into problems is if like, sometimes there'll be like tutors who are like low-key snakes. So, you know, you'll go into the tutorial and then instead of them giving you your essay back straight away, they'll give it back at the end. So they'll just be there like, so what did you write about in your essay? And you're kind of like, see, the thing is, I haven't really looked at it in 2 weeks, so I have no clue. But you know, it's fine, you know, there are usually 4 of you in a room, so like, you just make sure you don't go first, and then everyone else goes, and you kind of just listen to them, and you're just like, okay, see if I can remember what I wrote in my essay, and you can kind of just like draw some little things out of thin air. But yeah, in the subject tutorials, it's probably a good idea to just go over your essay before you go into the tutorial, just in case like they don't give you your essay back until the end. So we covered language classes and lectures and tutorials and essays, but what I haven't really talked about is how much you have to work outside of class. Because obviously, like, it's all very well and good that you have to have classes and lectures and stuff, but I guess for a lot of people, they're kind of wondering, well, how much do I have to work outside of class? And to be honest, like, it really does depend on the person, and it's quite difficult to give you sort of an estimate as to how much work you have to do, because it does depend on the person, it does depend on your level of Japanese. Also, it kind of depends on how much you actually want to put in, because you could just do the bare minimum and scrape by, or you could put in a lot more work but then have a lot less time. For me personally, because I knew more Japanese coming into the course, admittedly my work ethic was maybe slightly, tiny bit, just a tad questionable at times, but most of the time, you know, I was working relatively hard, if I do say so myself. So on average, I'd say about, well, I've said 8 hours for reading. Homework, maybe like 2 hours a day, if that. I'd say I spent maybe about 15-20 hours a week studying, which sounds like a lot of time, but if you think about it, like 7 days in a week, 15 hours, I'm only really doing like 2-3 hours a day outside of class. And we have class only from Monday to Thursday, from I think about 10 till like 3. All our classes are over by 3, but obviously we don't have class straight from 10 till 3. Like, oh my, trust me, you cannot deal with that many classes. Usually we have about 3 or 4 classes a day, which like is not too bad. I actually got my little diary planner thing here with my schedule. I feel like such an adult. Holy shit. But yeah, like the busiest day for me was Wednesday when I had 4 classes. Oh my god, Wednesday morning I double exercise back to back all the way at the Nissan Institute, which is where the Japanese sort of studies centre is. We have some of our classes there for some reason, then the rest of them are in the Oriental Institute. In comparison to some other subjects, I feel like Japanese students, we maybe, like, to be quite honest, we probably do a lot less work than some subjects. Like, some of the science students, they seem to be doing labs and stuff all day, then they seem to have to go back and just do even more work. If you are a humanities student at Oxford, a humanities subject, I can't speak now, a humanities subject outside of Japanese, then you'll have a lot fewer contact hours, so you will spend less time in lectures and more time literally just on your own, reading and writing essays. So if you're thinking of applying for like PP or history or like one of those subjects, I'm telling you now, a lot of it is just spent in your room or in the library reading, writing essays. Like, these people have 2 essays a week, and I'm like struggling with 1,000 word essay like every 2 weeks. I'm like, how the hell do they write that many? But luckily that's not me. But yeah, I guess in terms of a wrap up of all the work you do or don't do, there is quite a lot. And it doesn't help that even though you have a million different teachers, every single one of them thinks that they are the only teacher you have to do work for. So they will give you a lot of work and they won't be very like forgiving about like other teachers. You'll be like, I'm sorry, but I also have to do this, this and this, and they'll just look at you like, Ganbatte kudasai. The thing is though, if you don't do the work, they might chase you up and be like, where's your essay? But the thing is, if you don't hand it in, if you don't hand in the work, nothing happens to you. If you don't do the work, nothing happens. So it really is up to you. It's not like school where if you don't do an essay or something, they're just like, detention. Generally speaking, they really don't care if you do the work. They really don't care if you don't do the work. So it's up to you. In terms of criticisms, I don't want to be like overly critical because I don't really think there's like that much that's wrong. But I think the thing is, like, it's Oxford, it's an old university, they've got a lot of traditions, some of them leaving you just like, and at times it does feel like things are done a bit inefficiently and in ways that don't make sense, literally just because it's Oxford and because they can and because they don't care. But I think generally speaking, like the main sort of thing that I found, there's not really like any central sort of organisation. So like if you ever run into any problems, and trust me, you will, you actually have no clue who you're supposed to go to, because within the department itself it's kind of like, what's going on? And then within the whole university as well, it's like you've got your like home at your college, but then I spend most of my time at the Oriental Institute because that's where I have my classes. And then if I have any problems there, like who am I supposed to go to? Like, I don't know these things. And this is kind of apparent right from the start. Like as soon as you arrive at Oxford, you don't know anything, you just go to your room and you're just like, okay, well what do I do? And all they say to you is, it's all on the single sign-on student service thingy, whatever they call it. So yeah, they kind of just go in and tell you, well, all the information is available online, please do not disturb us, thank you very much, goodbye. That's kind of the impression you get, like you are very much on your own from the start. But I definitely do think that in terms of my department especially, organisation could be a bit better. Not to give any specific examples, cough cough, but there was this one time where we had lectures scheduled for the exact same time as language classes, because who knows? Also, you know, just general things such as not finding out when your exams are, not finding out when you get your exam papers back, not finding out what is actually on the paper, not being taught translations even though they were an entire paper. Low-key still just a tad salty. But despite all its problems, the stress, the work, the lack of organisation, Oxford is still a really great place and I've really enjoyed myself there. You still have a lot of time to get involved in a lot of clubs and societies, Oxford Union if you're into that sort of thing, sports and music and drama, and anything you can sort of think of. It is the best university in the world times higher education 2017, just saying. And you know, you will definitely have a really good time if you go there. Probably. But anyway, that is pretty much all for this video. Hopefully this helped you guys. If you have any more questions about Oxford, about Japanese, about learning Japanese, about any of those things, really, just leave a comment in the description. I mean, just leave a comment anyway, just say hi, that's cool too. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then give it a thumbs up anyway. If you are new here, I make videos in Japan and Japanese and stuff, so subscribe for more. I don't know what accent that was, why I just did that. But yeah, my camera's running out of battery and it is running out of memory card space. I've had to like go and delete loads of stuff already to make more space for this video, which is going to be long. But thank you very much for watching and I will see you guys soon. Bye bye!